Prospects complete 57% of their buying journey before ever contacting your sales team, according to a CEB research. What impressions are they forming while you're not watching? Your prospects are researching, evaluating, and even disqualifying your solutions entirely on the digital touch points that you may not be optimizing. Data shows that 74% of buyers choose the vendor that provides the most helpful information during this independent research phase. What information are you making available to them? Companies that fail to provide value during this critical self-guided phase see 62% more qualified opportunities entering their pipeline. For an average organization, this invisible problem represents millions of dollars in gap in the pipeline every quarter. Your prospect's independent research experience isn't just one touch point. It's increasingly becoming the entire foundation of your business relationship. Now, I see this happen in many, many ways, but mostly what I see is people rehashing the same information all the time, giving up the same rote ideas, not expressing to the customers in a free form exactly who and what they are. And being able to do that gives you a leg up beyond all things. So when people used to come and look for me, they used to always see one website. Yes, I optimize it and I have the advantage of having a unique name, but they saw this and I can know that they checked me out because I was one tagline that says, everybody needs a camper. And for years, I can tell you, every time I showed up, that's what happened. Now more and more, they're going into the digital presence, hence one of the reasons I'm doing these 100 videos, because what's happening is people are looking to find out who you are, what you are, and how you think ahead of time. I did an interview with a friend of mine as a favor, and that's popping up more and more, and people are spending more time learning before they even talk to you. So when you're going about figuring out what your content is, remember that they're looking at you and they're not looking for the same rote thing. They're looking for you to differentiate yourself from everyone else. So when you are creating these pieces of content, when you're thinking about it, what value are you adding? What information can you add in to make sure that they know who you are and that you're different? In fact, giving it away is one of the more powerful things you can do. One of my greatest expressions I've ever heard is, we're going to give as much away as we can, because if you're giving that away for free, imagine how much more powerful you are if you actually hire these people. And literally most of my clients have said that. You give out so much information, you try and provide value on a regular basis. We want to work with you because we recognize that you understand that we need to provide value. So more and more that we can provide that kind of value, provide that understanding, give people the unique opportunity to learn about you ahead of time. And now that it's so easy and so free to do, that you can actually generate that on a regular basis, giving them value. Don't worry about copyright. In fact, one of the reasons you can do this is you can show that you've actually had this idea, and this idea was out in the public early. I'm not a copyright lawyer, so look at that. But remember, what you're doing here is you're providing high quality content for individuals so that they feel like they've gotten value. Now, there's a lot of techniques that you can deal with about how to create value and what kind of value you should be providing, but you really should be answering the questions that they have initially. Now, as an expert, you're going to know that these questions are not necessarily what they should be asking, but you have to answer the questions they're asking first. And one of the great ways of providing content is actually saying, hey, this is the answer to the question you're looking for. But understand, once you get that answer, you're going to ask the next question. So let me help you understand how to go ahead and get that information as well. And especially if you're talking to your customers and they're looking for things to make their life better. So providing value in understanding exactly where the customer is, what questions they're dying to ask, and then what questions they're going to ask next, showing your expertise, your ability to understand them, and your knowledge therein. The greater you're able to actually have that conversation, show your expertise, not in a way where you have a long list of the things that you need to do, but you come in and you immediately answer the question they have, and then give them what's going to come next. So that could look like answering a direct question about how you post videos and So you answer how you post videos, and then you talk about, hey, posting videos is great, but you really need to learn how to deal with all of the other things around it. Once you post that video, where are they going next? You know, there's an interesting little thing that you can do on the back that creates a card, and that card will either dynamically pick on in YouTube the next video, or you can specifically catch the next video. So helping them understand where they are and what they can do next gives them great value. Giving them that value now allows them to really understand what quality you provide, what information you provide, and that you can help them. So when they're looking through the thousands of videos on the same topic, they're going to start coming to you because you're not giving them the same rote information. You're not giving them the same ideas. You're giving them new ideas. And this is a perfect place to start providing value that you're working through. One of my values earlier talked about a customer escalation process. Well, I've kind of worked that through, and I'm going to do another value video about how I've actually thought about this and come up with a template. Use the same techniques that I'm talking to you here and creating that template and then redoing it again so that you continue that conversation so people see that you're growing and understanding. So the more value you can provide in the beginning, the more you're going to have your prospects understand you and work with you and be really happy to be part of your organization, and they're going to know you ahead of time. Imagine if you get on a call and they already know your philosophy and understand what you're thinking and really want to be part of that organization. We spend a lot of time thinking about what we want to get out, opposed to what we should be giving. So more that you give out, the more people will come to you, the more people will understand you. And when you're talking, you can talk at the deeper level because they've already been taught that. So go out and think about what your customers need and how you can provide value right now. Is that a quick note? Is that a white paper? Is that a video? Is that a social media post? All of those are powerful ways of getting that done. So think clearly and concisely about that idea and really push into what value can create. What I usually do is I usually keep a pen and paper near me. And so when I'm talking to clients or I'm taking little notes about the questions I always hear, and that's the first place to start. Start with the questions. And then go to something like Answer the Public, which is a website where you get other questions that come up, and start answering those questions. And all of a sudden, you're going to be creating a lot of content. Yes, great for an FAQ, but also an amazing way of starting to answer those questions ahead of time. I hope this has helped. And what I'd love you to do is I'd love you to think of any of the other ways that you can generate ideas. Put them in the comments, and let's keep this conversation going. Look forward to seeing you next time.
Thanks for tuning in to today's episode on the Strategy Session, where we take your business from stuck to unstoppable. Here's another video I think you'd enjoy. If you found these insights valuable, remember to hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and ring the bell for notifications on our latest videos. Remember, you're not just marketing, you're making history with Venture Gain.